The Jammu Kashmir issue has drawn international attention as pressure is building on the two nuclear power neighbors, India and Pakistan, to resolve the conflict peacefully. The US President Donald Trump, who had earlier expressed his willingness to mediate on the issue, also called on Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Pakistani counterpart Imran Khan to seek peaceful resolutions. Good morning, I am Praram Vadahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Indo-Nepal Joint Commission meeting to kick off tomorrow to discuss financial assistance, expediting projects and issues of mutual benefit. Nepal speaks on Jammu and Kashmir issue, says the government is keeping an eye on the development, urges India and Pakistan to resolve the issue through dialogue. US President Donald Trump calls prime ministers from India and Pakistan, stresses the need to reduce tensions over Kashmir between the nuclear-armed neighbors. And Manchester United held to a 1-1 draw by Wolves in the English Premier League as Paul Pogba fails to convert a second-half penalty. Let us now begin with the latest national political updates. The meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission is starting from tomorrow in Kathmandu to discuss financial assistance, expediting projects at the implementation level, and issues of mutual benefit between the two countries. Indian Foreign Minister S. J. Shankar is coming to Nepal to take part in the ministerial level meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission. The fifth meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission will focus on moving forward the stranded projects. Apart from this, the Nepal side is preparing to discuss on the revision of the agreement on trade and transit. The two-day meeting will prioritize on the formation of a cluster on politics, border security, contact networks, trade, energy, and culture and education to facilitate on financial assistance and projects related to infrastructure development in areas including roads, railway, and agriculture. In the press meet held in the capital yesterday, Foreign Minister Pradeep Gyawali stated that the meeting would focus on implementation and analysis of prior understandings. Regular programs like floodings have also made it to the agendas of the meeting. The fourth meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission was held in New Delhi on the 26th of October 2016. Questions have surfaced on the effectiveness of the Commission, as only the fifth meeting is being held in 32 years since its establishment, and that to prioritizing prior agendas. 2 weeks after the Narendra Modi-led Indian government stripped Kashmir of its special status from the Indian constitution, sparkling conflicts, Nepal's foreign minister, Pradeep Gyawali has said the Nepal government is closely monitoring the controversial development in Jammu and Kashmir. Speaking at a press conference held to inform of the meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission, Minister Gyawali said the Nepal government is keeping regular correspondence with the Indian government as there are many Nepalese living in the disputed region. Minister Gyawali informed that the dispute had not affected the minorities of Nepal living in the region.
हामीले मुख्यतया दुईटा त्यसमा चासो हो एउटा हजारौं नेपालीहरू छन् उहाँहरूको अवस्थाको बारेमा नेपालको चासो छ त्यसको निम्ति हामी हाम्रो दिल्ली स्थित दूतावास निरन्तर भारत सरकारसँग सम्पर्कमा छ र उहाँहरूलाई कुनै असजिलो उत्पन्न नहोस् भन्ने कुरामा हामीले नजिकबाट नियालिरहेका छौँ र आजका मितिसम्म त्यस्तो कुनै अप्ठ्यारो परेको हामीलाई जानकारी छैन।
Minister Gyawali also stated that the Nepal government was convinced that India would hold talks with Pakistan to find a solution to the conflict and that the ongoing crisis would not affect regional peace. With regards to the dormant status of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, Minister Gyawali informed a meeting of the foreign ministers of SAARC nations is on the cards in a month's time. The meeting is scheduled to take place in New York during the 74th General Assembly of the United Nations. Meanwhile, the government has expressed objection towards Nepali Congress leader Pradeep Gyawali's statement that India was doing to Nepal what it did to Sikkim. Minister Gyawali urged leaders to refrain from making such sensitive remarks as it could incite a cold war between the two countries.
त्यो सत्य हो भनेर मलाई पत्याउनै गाह्रो भइरहेको छ। म जतिको परिपक्व राजनीतिज्ञले यो ढङ्गले अभिव्यक्ति दिनु होला भन्ने मलाई विश्वास लाग्दैन। सत्य हो भने यो अस्वीकार्य वक्तव्य हो। यसले दुई देशबीच रहँदै आएको सम्बन्धलाई चाहिँ अनावश्यक रूपमा त्यसमा एउटा चाहिँ चिसोपन ल्याउने काम गर्छ, जुन हामीले कल्पना पनि गर्ने विषय होइन।
Speaking at the meeting of the International Affairs Committee of the Parliament on the 14th of August, leader Pradeep Giri had said that India would convert Nepal into Sikkim the moment such an opportunity arose. The commercial banks in Nepal have registered a 25% increase in their profit despite complaining of liquidity crisis for 10 months of the fiscal year. 25 among the 28 banks accumulated profit in the last fiscal year, with the state-owned Rashtriya Banija Bank registering 5.32 billion rupees. Likewise, NIC Asia has topped the list of banks that has improved the profit margin, raising their profit last fiscal year to just over 3 billion rupees. Meanwhile, among the private banks, Nabil Bank leads the banks with maximum profit at just over 4 billion rupees. Civil Bank registered the least profit of 800 million rupees. The profit of investment, Century and Nepal Bank have gone down. The 28 commercial banks registered just over 65 billion rupees of collective profit. However, the dividend distribution remained at a dismal 15% at the maximum. The bankers have said that they needed to deposit money in reserve regulatory funds, among others, which prevented them from distributing higher dividends. Despite the Constitution reserving the public right to information, the general public have yet to gain access to information of government units. In this context, we had asked the locals of Parbat district what should be done in order to retrieve information from government offices with ease. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
सबै कुरा चाहिँ सहज रूपमा चाहिँ मिडियासँग पुग्न नसकेको सूचना पाठ यहाँ टाँसियोस् अथवा उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ एउटा चाहिँ कुनै चाहिँ सूचनाको हकका कुराहरू चाहिँ उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ एउटा पेपरमा चाहिँ पठाइयोस् अथवा पत्र पठाइयोस्। यो त सहजीकरण हुनु पर्यो नि।
रेडियो एफएमहरू टेलिभिजनहरू यिनीहरूबाट सम्पूर्ण आफ्नो भएको सूचनाहरू सबै प्रसारण गरिदिने। अब अहिले धेरै मान्छेहरूको हातमा मोबाइल छ, इन्टरनेट छ, उनीहरूलाई अनलाइन सिस्टमबाट कुनै एउटा माध्यम बनाएर त्यसलाई सबैलाई सर्वसाधारणसम्म सर्वसुलभ रूपमा सूचना पुर्याउने व्यवस्था गर्न सक्यो भने सरकारी संयन्त्रहरूले।
सूचना अधिकारी त तोकिया छ, तर त्योसम्मको त सूचना त हामीले जनतासम्म पुर्यायौँ कि पुर्याएनौँ भन्ने एउटा अनुगमन गर्ने चाहिँ निकाय चाहिँ भएन र सरकारी कार्यालयहरूमा पनि आन्तरिक द्वन्द्व
जस्तो चाहिँ एफएम रेडियोहरू छन्, लोकल न्युज पोर्टल्सहरू छन् र पत्रिकाहरू छन्, यिनीहरूको माध्यमबाट पुर्याउन सकिन्छ भने नेसनल लेभलमा चाहिँ नेसनल लेभलका मूलधारका मिडियाहरूबाट पुर्याउन सकिन्छ।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on the failure to formulate work plans for the implementation of budget introduced 2 months ago? Your options are A. Lack of enthusiasm, B. Lack of willpower, and C. Used to 11th hour decision. The voting is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
Paul Pogba missed a second-half penalty as Manchester United were held at a 1-1 draw by Wolves in the English Premier League. In a first half that just saw 3 shots, Anthony Martial had put Manchester United in front with his 50th goal for the club, a fine left-footed finish. However, the United lead was cancelled shortly into the second half as Ruben Neves equalised with a sensational strike from the edge of the area, which bounced down off the crossbar. With the score 1-1 in the second half, Pogba was fouled by Connor Cody and got up to take the spot kick despite failing with 3 penalties last season, and Marcus Rashford scoring from 1 against Chelsea on the opening weekend. Pogba's powerful shot was pushed away by Rui Patricio, who dived low to his right to deny Manchester United full points. German giants Bayern Munich have signed attacking midfielder Philippe Coutinho from Barcelona on a season-long loan deal, which includes an option to buy. Barcelona say the German side will pay £7.78 million to take the 27-year-old Brazilian on loan, while the option to buy stands at £109.84 million. Bayern will also pay Coutinho's wages for the duration of the loan spell. During his official presentation in Munich, Coutinho said that a lot of things had not turned out in Barcelona as he had imagined. He added that it was history and hoped to stay at Bayern for long and win many titles. Coutinho said the jersey of Bayern and the number 10 were big responsibilities. Coutinho, who was in crowd for Barcelona's La Liga defeat against Athletic Bilbao on Friday, had joined from Liverpool in a £142 million deal back in January 2018. Despite scoring 21 goals in 76 appearances for the Spanish Giants, he has fallen short of expectations and had been linked with several clubs this summer. It is now time for the special segment Sports Buzz. The Central Zone Men's Volleyball Championship, which is being organized by Nepal Volleyball Association for the first time in Nepal, kicked off on Monday. However, the government has provided only a small amount of financial assistance in organizing the tournament. Despite the estimated cost of organizing the tournament standing at 25.6 million rupees, the National Sports Council provided only 1 million rupees. Despite volleyball being the national sport of Nepal, the government remains indifferent towards its development. Video assistant referee was yet again crucial in the clash between defending champions Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur, this time at the English Premier League. Both the sides shared a point each as the match played at Etihad Stadium settled for a dramatic 2-all draw. The scenes as Gabriel Jesus' last gasp goal was chalked off were reminiscent of the dramatic ending to last season's Champions League tie between the two sides at the same venue. Defending champions of the French Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain PSG have suffered a shock defeat against Rennes. PSG were beaten 2-1 as Niang and Del Castillo scored for Rennes after Edinson Cavani had first put PSG ahead. This is Pranam Badhal for Kantipur News Desk. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day ahead.